covering news that matters. Fox 23 News at 9 starts right now.
Local child care providers are very concerned about the proposed subsidy changes by Oklahoma DHS. They say fewer families will qualify for assistance and some children could lose coverage altogether. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Shay Razi.
And I'm Nathan Thompson. This is an issue we've been following since October, and now providers are even more worried after a recent Senate discussion. Fox 23's Paris Rain joins us live in studio. Paris, you talked to a couple of child care providers here in Green Country and found out how this could impact them and our viewers and their families.
I did, Nathan and Shay. Providers say child care is not a luxury, it is a lifeline, and without it, they say Oklahoma could suffer economically and impact the next generation tremendously because they could not have access to early child care.
It's confusing. I'm not sure what has changed in their logic, what has changed in their projections.
Child care providers are raising questions following a recent request from the Department of Human Services director when it comes to the child care subsidy.
It's going to have a really big impact. That means that the cuts that are already in place are going to be kept in place. So that means school age 9 to 12-year-olds are going to be off the system entirely. They're going to lower the income eligibility threshold to 55% of the state median income, and fewer families are going to qualify for care.
Your Neighborhood Learning Center is new to serving Green Country, and owner and director Jeanette McCoy says these decisions have her nervous.
As a new owner, I am limited to some of those steps in timeframes, and so I'm hopeful to be able to really serve the community with good quality care, as well as I'm a little bit in a panic as to how we do continue to move forward without the funding that the state has kind of walked back on.
When the federal government shut down in October, we began reporting the cuts. For months, we have covered this story and spoke with providers. Oklahoma Human Services Director Jeffrey Cartmill asked the Oklahoma House for $57 million January 28.
The last ask is a $57 million request for the subsidy program.
1 week later, he asked the Senate for $7.5 million.
The request now on number 5 is $7.5 million, so $7,592,635. That is what will be necessary to continue to operate the program as it currently exists today with the changes that have been made previously.
That's $50 million less, leaving daycare providers with one question. Why?
When the first cuts were announced in October, we were told shortly thereafter that DHS would be requesting an increase in their budget for FY27 with the intent of more or less putting us back where we were at the beginning of October.
Cartmill says that $57 million is what the program needed to continue operating in September. Since then, there have been modifications, and he says with that, the program will cost less to operate.
I think that what necessitated the change following the hearing with the House is there was still confusion on what does it cost to run the program with the changes that have been made. And so we felt like it was a better path to make it clear to the legislature and to others that even with all the changes that we made, there's still an additional investment of state dollars that'll be needed to keep that program solvent.
Due to the decrease in the funding, as providers have put together a petition that they say anyone can sign. It asks legislators to revise the budget and increase funding for the child care subsidy program. We have a link to the petition in this story on fox23.com. Live in studio covering news that matters, I'm Paris Rain, Fox 23 News.